I don't give a fuck.
You guys better start gooning because UFC 317 is now. Well, it's not right now, but it's these are my predictions for UFC 317. Let's just get right into it. Yeah, nothing else to say. Christopher Ewert versus Jackson McVey. Now, this was supposed to be Boonk Gang, Cedric Dumas, whatever you want to call the kid, versus Jackson McVey. But unfortunately, Cedric Dumas is out getting baby mama's pregnant. He's out freaking robbing banks. I'm kidding. That's kind of racist. Look, Cedric Dumas, apparently, legitimately, he can't get his ankle monitor off in time for the fight. I'm not even joking. That's apparently the reason. So, I kind of like this fight a bit better. It's two guys who are making their debut. Two undefeated prospects as well. Two guys with a little bit of name value. Christopher Ewert has a bit more name value, I think, or a bit more hype, I should say. I think he's going to win this one as well. I think he is. He has how many finishes? 5 first-round finishes, 5 KOs. I think he might KO McVey. McVey's a bit more well-rounded. You know, he's 3 subs, 6 first-round finishes. Very impressive, to be fair. All of his wins all of his wins are in the first round, to be fair. 3 wins by knockout, so he is well-rounded. This is tricky. You know what? I might pick Jackson McVey, you know. I think Jackson McVey... How do you say that? McVey? Yeah. I think Jackson McVey might win this one. I could kind of see like Christopher Ewert being kind of like this just blockhead sort of... I was about to say Mexican, but he's Chilean. But blockhead kind of Mexican type guy where he just kind of trudges forward and relies on his power and then kind of punches himself out. And I think McVey might mix in the wrestling well enough. You know, hold him against the clinch a little bit. Hold him against the cage with the clinch a little bit. And just kind of get his work off there. I could see McVey winning like a decision where he mixes in the wrestling, the clinch work, and his striking won't look bad. So I'm going to go Jackson McVey via 3-0, 2-1 decision, you know? Jhonata Diniz versus Alvin Hines. Now, I've been watching some tape on your old boy Alvin Hines, Mr. Egghead. What's his nickname? Goosey or something? Alvin Goozy Hines, right? And it's funny, someone from my chat said that either they know someone who's training with him or they're training with Alvin Hines, and they said his strategy is actually to hold down Jhonata Diniz with the wrestling, so which is, you know, a good strategy because Diniz got held down by Marcin Tybura in his last fight and got obliterated. Now, I think Alvin Hines, I kind of wanted to pick him, to be honest, just because I'm like, you know what, fuck it, let's go with the underdog fat egghead heavyweight, but I'm gonna pick Jhonata Diniz via first. I'll pick second round KO, maybe an early second round KO. Alvin Hines is good. He has a nice high kick. I mean, good is a stretch for a heavyweight, but he's solid. Like, he has a nice high kick, and he has a couple of subs on his record. Like, he's a bit well-rounded. He can wrestle. He can blob. He can kind of lay on top of the knees. I could see that as well. Don't get me wrong, but I could just... Alvin Hines, when he kind of crashes in, he kind of leaves his chin very open, and I think Diniz is... He's going to come in with that left hook. He's always looking for it, and I think he's going to land it in this fight, and he'll probably... you know, land some nice low kicks on Hines as well in that first round, kind of slow down Alvin Hines. Maybe Alvin Hines, I could see them sort of being in the clinch against the cage, you know, or something. But I think Diniz is strong. He's decent. Like, he lost to Marcin Tybura, and he got pretty dominated, but it's Marcin Tybura, man. Marcin Tybura, that's no slouch. So I'm going to go Jhonata Diniz, second round KO. I could see him being like, I could see his back being on the fence, and then he lands like a left hook or something. Or a couple of hooks and drops Alvin Hines and TKOs him. Niko Price, Jacobe Smith, what's his name? What's the kid's name? Yeah, Jacobe Smith, yeah. Jacobe Smith is going to first round KO Niko Price because it's Niko Price in 2025, and Jacobe Smith is a very, 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 very good prospect with insane power, and he's very strong, and Niko Price is about 80 years old. Let's move on. I'm sorry, Niko Price. I do like Niko Price, but... you know, that one's pretty easy to predict. This one isn't, right? Terrance McKinney versus Viacheslav Borshchev. Now, this will be the most generational hate watch ever because, first of all, I love Viacheslav Borshchev, Slava Claus. I am a big fan of Borshchev. I think he's underrated. I think he's a fun fighter. I think he's got a good personality. He's someone who I've always been rooting for. He's one of these, like, outside the rankings, like a Rebecca or... some of these other guys, Orobai, where I'm just like, damn, I'm really rooting for this guy. And he's facing Terrance McKinney, a guy who I never root for. I don't like Terrance McKinney. Look at his face. I mean, how can you like a guy with a smug face like this? Very punchable face. Now, I'm not saying I'd punch him in the face, all right? So you can't sue me for that, or YouTube can't delete me for saying that. I'm saying he has a punchable face. I'm not saying I'd punch him. I'm just saying he has a punchable. Anyways, I kind of want to pick McKinney. I do want to pick McKinney. I've been thinking about it. But I don't give a shit. Viacheslav Borshchev is going to win this one via a hard-fought decision. Initially, I was going to go maybe Borshchev via like a round 3 sort of TKO thing, but I'm going to say Borshchev wins a decision. I think he will get rocked and or dropped very badly in the first, but he will be able to use his grappling to survive, and he'll win the next 2 rounds, I think, pretty comfortably. But why? By mixing in his grappling, by mixing in the clinch work, by mixing in his striking, I think Viacheslav Borshchev is going to... I could just see McKinney slowing down, And I think Borshchev, I think he could really just grind it out. Again, McKinney, I could see him slowing down after that first, man. He'll punch himself out in the first, and I just don't rate McKinney, man. He's McChinny. He's McChinny, man. I know Borshchev is chinny too, but like his losses are not that bad. They're really not, bro. They're really not. And neither are McKinney's, to be fair. Like losing to Esteban Ribovic, Drew Dober, those are not bad wins. Bad losses. They're bad wins, bad losses, you fucking retard. But Borshchev, it's just... I don't know. I'm just picking Borshchev because I like Borshchev. Fuck it. Who cares, right? Who cares anyways? Viviane Araujo versus Tracy Cortez. I'm going Tracy Cortez. It's a women's fight. Who cares? Tracy Cortez will win a decision because it's a women's fight and they never get finishes. Hyder Amil versus Jose Miguel Delgado. This will be a great fight because of course it will be. It's 2 Mexican-looking guys. Even though one is American, the other one is a Filipino. But this will be a great fight. I think Hyder Amil will win this one via a split decision. I think it will be very similar to his last fight. It will be very, 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 very close. But it will be a war. It will be a back-and-forth war. I think Jose Delgado will, he'll do... Delgado is good. Delgado is good, and I think he's being a little bit counted out, but I don't think he is, though. I think a lot of people are aware of how good he is. But Hyder Amil, I think, is just a little bit better, and I think he's going to be able to edge out a decision, but this will be a split decision probably for Hyder Amil, and I think people will probably scream robbery, robbery. This will probably also be a fight of the night for sure. There's other fights we'll get to that could also take that spot, though. So, yeah, I think this fight is sick, and be on the lookout for this one because this could be even a fight of the year, hopefully. We're kind of... I kind of need, like... Where's the Yuri versus Glover type fights? I feel like nowadays we're just getting like the best fight we get is like Usman versus Buckley, just a dog shit grapple fest, right? Like who cares, bro? Roundtree versus Hill, where's the wars? Where's the bangas? Where's the fucking bangas? Where's the mashing bangas with the fucking? What am I from? I'm a Scouser. Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriugues. This is a fight I've been going back and forth on, but I've settled on Gregory Rodriugues via a 2-1 decision. I know Hermansson is a crafty vet. But the Pfeiffer fight was a 5-rounder, bro. And I just think, like, this is a 3-rounder. Rodriguez is more dynamic than Pfeiffer. Hermansson's been out for more than a year. There's so many factors that are going against Hermansson, man. So many factors. Like, I know Rodriguez lost to Cannonier, but that's not a bad loss, man. That's really not a bad loss, and he almost finished Cannonier. He almost finished him, bro. He almost finished him. I wish he did, because I love Gregory Rodriguez, but that's not why I'm picking him. I think if this was a 5-round main event of an Apex card, I'm picking Hermansson, but Rodriguez will win the first, he'll win the second, and he'll most definitely lose the third because he'll gas out, and Hermansson will do his crafty vetness and win the third round, but it would just be too much too soon. So I got Gregory Rodriguez via 2-1 decision. That's it. I think Hermansson has a chance, but he doesn't have the power to stop Rodriguez either. He has a good chin, but I got Gregory Rodriguez. I wouldn't be shocked if he finishes Hermansson in the first either. I really wouldn't. Payton Talbott versus Felipe Lima. Now we're on to the main card. This main card's pretty sick. I love Felipe Lima. I actually do like Payton Talbott as well. I got Felipe Lima winning this one via decision. I was gonna say a submission, but I think I don't want to. Talbot's not that bad. I think Felipe Lima's really, really, really fucking good, which is why I'm picking him. But Talbot, I can't see him getting subbed. He's gonna know, like, all right, this guy can wrestle. This guy has jiu-jitsu. He's gonna have probably vastly improved his wrestling, but I still think Felipe Lima is really good on the feet. Really, really, really good on the feet. He's very sound defensively. He has good footwork. He has he has good movement. He does a good job of getting out of the way. He has good low kicks. He's just good. He's a good all-round, well-rounded fighter. But I think he can mix in the grappling. He can mix in the clinch work. He can mix in the takedowns. Whereas Talbot, it's like, yeah, Talbot can shoot a takedown. But at this stage, it's not. It's going to take way more fights for him to really build a good grappling sort of, a good high-level grappling sort of, I don't know what the word I'm trying to say, skill, I guess. Felipe Lima, he's probably been grappling since he was a child, I bet. Right? So, whereas I feel like Talbot, he still has a lot more time to grow it and to pause. That sounds gay. You know what I fucking mean. I'm picking Felipe Lima because he's a better grappler, of course, and he's a good striker. He's defensively sound. He's not, and I love this guy, but he's not Cameron Simon. He's way better defensively than Cameron Simon. He has a good chin as well. I don't want to hear about the Miles Johns fight. That was at featherweight on short notice. No one ever points that out when they criticize Felipe Lima for that fight. It was at featherweight on short notice. He's not a featherweight. He's a fucking bantamweight. Like, this is finally his first fight at his weight class. So, him versus Talbot's going to be good. He's going to have speed as well. He has underrated speed, Felipe Lima. People don't really talk about he's got really good speed. Really good speed. I could see Talbot maybe catching him with something in like round 2. I wouldn't be shocked if Talbot like rocks him and maybe Lima kind of tries to go for a takedown or something, but hopefully not. But no, I think Felipe Lima is going to win this one via, I'll say 30-27. 30-27. He'll wear. What am I saying? Do I have CT? Do I have autism? I mean, I have autism, but do I have CT? I don't have Down syndrome, right? Because that's like, I'm not Gene Silva. But like, why am I? Anyway, sorry. I think Felipe Lima is going to win this one. And yeah, that's it. 30-27. Unanimous. Decision. He's just going to be faster. He's going to land a little more. Talbot doesn't have the best head movement. It's just no one really wants to trade with Talbot, but he's not like he's got like really slick head movement. He's not Ilia. But it's because he's tall and rangy, so he feels like it really doesn't need to. But the low kicks as well are going to be a factor, man. The low kicks, he's going to slow down Talbot a lot with the low kicks. I think Lima's got this one. This one is going to be a very controversial one. I'm not going to lie. Actually, my main card picks are kind of controversial. Well, it's mainly these next two. Am I really going to do this? Well, I think you guys know by the thumbnail. I'm picking Beneil Dariush to beat Renato Moicano. I like Renato Moicano. I'm more of a fan of Moicano. I'm rooting for Moicano. I want Moicano to win. I don't know why. I can't even give you a clear reason why. I can't give you a clear reason why. I think Dariush has got this one, man. He's good on the ground. He's got good jiu-jitsu. Moicano's not subbing him. Moicano is not, he'll take him down, but it's like, bro, Beneil Dariush has really, really, really good takedown defense, bro. I'm going to assume even in his old age, with all the damage and KOs he's been dished and he's taken, he's still defensively sound in terms of his wrestling defense. Now, his striking defense, I don't think he's got to worry that much about Moicano's striking, man. Moicano's rangy, he's decent on the feet, but he'll slow down, and I think Dariush, he's going to mix in the wrestling. He's going to take down Moicano. He's going to lay on top of him. I could see Beneil Dariush kind of stalling out a decision, Going for maybe 1 or 2 subs, not getting it. Moicano might scramble up. He's not bad at that. But I could just see Beneil Dariush just winning a bit of a... If you guys remember the Tony Ferguson fight, I could see it being very similar to that. Laying on top of Moicano, kind of just stalling out the rounds. slightly ahead on the feet, or maybe Moicano might be slightly ahead on the feet, but he'll get the takedown, and I could just see MMA Guru's going to rage. Oh, fuck, Beneil Dariush. He's going to rage, like, you know. You guys know. I could just see it, man. I could just see it, and I don't even have a clear reason why, but this is Moicano, man. If this was Benoit Saint-Denis, if this was someone dangerous on the feet, Joel Alvarez, I'd be like, oh, rest in peace, Beneil Dariush. It's Moicano, bro. I like Moicano, but fuck. Like, I know, look. Excuse me, my voice is shot today, sorry. Sarukian, flatline KO'd him, I know. Charles, flatline KO'd him, I know. Not really flatline, it was the TKO. But, like, damn, but these wins were a long time ago, though. I'm not going to lie, these were like 3 years ago. But the Gamrot could not take him down once. He was piecing up Gamrot bad on the feet. This was 3 years ago, so I'm not going to use this. Fuck. He hasn't fought in a long time. Damn. Shit, wait. Shit, I might change my pick now. Fuck, he hasn't fought since 2023? Fuck. It was that long ago? Fuck, wait a minute. Shit. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. I'm picking Beneil Dariush. Give me the underdog, baby. Let's go. I'm picking Dariush to win. Fuck it. Fuck, I don't even care anymore. Dariush is going to win a lay and pray decision. I don't rate Moicano that highly. Bro, Makhachev just doing that to you that easily, that fast as well. I don't love that, man. Like, and then the Benoit Saint-Denis fight, he could have, he was losing on the feet to Benoit Saint-Denis, man. Jalen Turner dropped him really badly in the first and probably would have KO'd him if he knew how to follow up. Drew Dober is clearly not good. Brad Riddell is not good. Dos Anjos beat him. I could see it just being like I could just see Beneil Dariush crafty vetting Moicano, man. They're the same age, but I could see it. I could just see it, guys. Trust me on this one. Please trust me on this one. If Beneil Dariush loses, you can call me a fraud. You can call me gay. Call me whatever. Don't call me gay, all right? I'm not John Jones, but call me a fraud. Call me whatever. Say the BXG curse is real, whatever you want to say, but I think Beneil Dariush will win a 30-27, very lay and pray sort of decision, you know? Lay and pray. He'll camp in full guard like John Jones camps inside Dana White's ass. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. Another really tricky pick, another really risky pick, but Joshua Van is going to win this one. Joshua Van is going to win. I've been thinking about this. I've really been thinking about this. I don't like Brandon Royval's attitude. Now, this is not the sole reason why, but this is a part of the reason why. Brandon Royval is talking about moving up to bantamweight. Then he's talking about how I'm the most disrespected blah, blah, blah on the planet, bro. I'm the most disrespected fighter on the planet. Then he's talking about how like he's going to guarantee himself a title shot after that. It's just a lot of talking from him, man. A lot of talking. And I think Joshua Van is ever so improving. I don't think Brandon Royval will get the takedowns off on Joshua Van if he decides to use his wrestling. I don't think he'll have much success, honestly. I think Van, his takedown defense is improving. Now, how much is he really going to improve from his fight that was literally like a month ago? Not much, but or it was like less. It was like 3 weeks ago. But he's gonna be improving, man. He's improving every fight. His chin is really, really good. You know, he has been KO'd, but he still has a good chin. I think this will be a very, 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 very hard-fought scrap victory for Joshua Van, where it's going to get scrappy. He'll probably lose the first. I think what's going to happen is, you know what? He'll win the first. I think he'll win the first because he's going to pressure immediately. And I think Royval might be like, whoa, like, not that he'll be shocked by it, but he'll kind of be like, oh, shit, like, here we go kind of a thing. You know, like, he'll be like, wow, we're fighting. All right, we're doing it like that kind of a thing. And I think Van is going to win that first round just off of leading the dance a little bit more. Now, the second round, Royval will have a better game plan. He's gonna use the jab, and he's going to stay at range. You know, he'll come in with an elbow. I could see him landing a spinning elbow. I could see him landing some nice body kicks, some nice low kicks, maybe even a high kick. But I think he'll probably win that second round. But I think Joshua Van will just be a little bit grittier. He's not going to be craftier, right? Royval is the crafty one here, but he'll be a bit grittier, and I think he could just win, man. If he works the body as well, even if he loses round two, if he lands a couple of nice body shots, some sneaky body shots, slows down Royval for round 3, where then he could kind of tee off a little bit again. I think Joshua Van might edge out a decision victory here, man. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just going to go with the guy who has the momentum. It's not like Royval dominated Taylor, man. He made it close, and I know that's because of the wrestling, but Joshua Van has way better head movement than fucking Tatsuro Taylor, man. He really does. And Moreno, I know the Moreno fight, but I think Joshua Van will just rise to the occasion. I do. I think he'll rise to the occasion. I think this will be his moment, you know. I think he'll win this. There is no delusion without hope or whatever the fucking... There's no hope without... You know what I mean? Let's go Joshua Van now. Co-main event. I've already done a whole separate video on this, but I think Pantoja's going to win this one. This one's kind of easy for me. Pantoja's going to win this one. I think Pantoja is going to... He's going to pressure Kai Kara-France. You know, I think Kai Kara-France... I noticed with Kai Kara-France, he doesn't do well like when he gets pressured, man. You saw it in the Garbrandt fight a little bit. I know he destroyed Garbrandt, but rewatch that fight, in the Steve Erceg fight. There's moments where those guys have like small moments where they're just kind of pressuring Kai Kara-France a little bit, just a little bit, and he's kind of like he's showing up a little bit. He likes being the bully. He likes being on the front foot. And when you face a guy like Pantoja who's going to be okay with not only taking shots, but he's going to be leading the dance. He's going to be the marauder. He's going to be the one that's timing your shots, you know, and going for the clinch, crashing in with a clinch and an elbow or something, or an elbow to the body or a body kick. His body kicks are fantastic. And I think he's going to slow down Kai Kara-France. I think he's going to use the wrestling. Yes, Kai Kara-France has really good takedown defense, but I think as the fight goes on, he's going to slow down more and more and more, especially as the body kicks add up more and more and more. He's going to take a little bit of damage. I could see Pantoja cutting him with something. You know, I could see him cutting Pantoja too. But I think Pantoja's going to win maybe a 3-2 decision. I could see it being a little bit close where maybe Kara-France wins the first off of just pressuring more. He's going to really go for it in the first, but Pantoja will win the second. He might drop the third or fourth, you know, or he might win the third and drop the fourth and then win the fifth. It'll be one of those where it's close. Some people might scream robbery, but I think Pantoja's got this one. He's just going to pressure more. He's going to... He could even sub Kai Kara-France, honestly, in the later rounds, like round 4 or 5, because, again, yes, Kai Kara-France is great takedown defense, but it's not like, you know, he's not going to slow down. He could slow down, and I think Pantoja has better 5-round cardio. He has a granite chin. You know, again, you could argue their last fights were their best performances. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. Pantoja's got a better chin than Steve Erceg, and Steve Erceg, you know, he was doing all right, to be fair, moving on the outside and not getting caught, but he eventually got caught. But I think Pantoja's going to lead the dance. He's not going to allow Kai Kara-France to close the distance, like almost like an Ilia Topuria. He's like a shit Ilia Topuria, right? He's not going to allow that. He's going to he's going to make it his fight, and Kai Kara-France is going to be forced to fight Pantoja's fight, and Pantoja's fight usually comes out with him winning. So Pantoja's going to win this one. Probably a 3-2, excuse me, maybe a 4-1, 3-2 unanimous decision. Main event. I've been predicting this fight basically since it's been announced. I've done so many videos on this fight, but you guys watch all of them, so thank you guys for that. I think Ilia Topuria is going to first round KO Charles Oliveira. I'm very, very sorry to say this. I love Charles Oliveira. I wouldn't say am I rooting for him? Not really. Wow, I know, I just turned heel. I'm not rooting for Charles because Ilia winning is better for the sport, it's better for the division, and it's more exciting. I'm sorry. You guys really want to see... Charles, I want Charles to win. Why? So he could face Armin in a rematch? I'm a fan of Charles, by the way. When I say all this out of love. But if Charles wins, what's going to happen? We're going to get Charles Armin too. Charles Gaethje too. Charles Islam too. Ooh, all these sound so good. If Ilia wins, Ilia versus Armin Sarukian, Ilia versus Islam, Ilia versus Gaethje. Hell, what if Dustin Poirier beats Holloway and he says, you know what? I got one more in me. Ilia versus Dustin Poirier. I can keep going. Ilia versus Patty, I didn't even mention. Like, come on, guys. Come on. I love Charles. I love Charles so much. I love him so much I'm stuttering. But Ilia's got this one in the bag. And I am going to root for him to win as well. But here's the thing, right? Ilia Topuria, the thing is, I just think his boxing is just levels above everyone Charles Oliveira's ever faced. Simply put, his boxing is a gazillion times better than Justin Gaethje, man. And Justin Gaethje, he slaps his punches in the air like a tard. And look, he still dropped Charles like 5 times. But guess what? He was scared to follow Charles to the ground. But you know who wasn't scared? Arman. He won that fight against Charles. You know who wasn't scared? Islam. He also won that fight against Charles. So when you're not scared to go to the ground against Charles, you will have success. And I think Ilia Topuria, his grappling is being overlooked. Some people are even now saying, oh, his jiu-jitsu is overrated, bro. It's not. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has more subs than KOs on his record. I think he's got this one. Now, I think the thing is, Charles could walk forward. If that's going to be a strategy, he has said that's going to be a strategy. If I'm to believe Charles Oliveira, he's going to get KO'd in the first, man. He's going to come out probably with a jump kick or something, or he's going to come forward with that Brazilian guard where he's lifting that lead leg, but I still think Ilia will land some decent calf kicks, you know. And I think Charles is going to go for a teep. He's going to go for kicks of his own, maybe some sneaky knee stomps, maybe even a high kick. But what I think Ilia is going to do is he's going to catch these kicks. He's going to catch the body kick, boom, right to the body. Boom, whatever to the body. He's going to land a lot of body shots early on. And I could just see one hurting Charles and him kind of shelling up a little bit and him slightly backing up. Oh, shit, Charles is not pressuring as much. And once he takes the back step, the what the fuck am I saying? I'm retarded. Once he takes the, you know what I mean, right? Once he takes that step back, right? Is that what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean, right? It's like if two bulls are clashing into each other and one of them is a little bit hurt, so he starts, backing up a little bit. I think that's what's going to happen to Charles. He's going to back up a little bit, and I think Ilia, he's going to try to KO Charles against the cage. Charles will kind of circle out a little bit. He'll try to use the clinch, but I could just see Charles trying to go for a clinch. Ilia, boom, left hook to the chin of Charles. I could see Charles just going out cold, to be honest with you. Maybe either out cold or like he just goes flat on his back. Ilia, ground and pound TKO. It looked like I was just jerking off the air. Ground and pound TKO. I think so, man. I think Ilia Topuria, and I think all of this will happen in the first. I think this will be a extremely chaotic first round. I really do. I don't think this will be patient Oliveira and patient Ilia. No, they're gonna go like and just. It's gonna be like, you guys know the memes where it's like DDP when he fights Rainier the Ritter, and it's just two guys fighting in a cloud smoke or smoke of cloud, whatever the fuck. I just think Ilia is gonna KO Charles, is what I'm trying to say, in the first round with a left hook or maybe a right hand. But I think it will be when Charles is going for a clinch. I think he's gonna get caught with something. And I think he's going to get slightly hurt to the body earlier in that round as well. Not like super hurt where he's like, oh, he's crumbling, but like something, he'll get hit with some body shot that will have him take a back foot, a back step, a step foot, a back step, a step back. Make sure you guys like and sub. Let's get out of here. Become a member. I don't do drugs, but sometimes, I'm glad I don't do drugs, because if I did, make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. What are you guys' predictions? What are you guys' picks? I've already put my separate picks out. I went more in depth on my predictions for Charles versus Ilia. I've also debunked all the narratives of that fight. Ilia's too small. I've already spoken about all that in other videos, so go check that out on my channel. And as for the co-main event, that being Pantoja Kara-France, I've already spoken about that in a separate video as well. And I've done a bunch of videos on Jon Jones. Check those out. Just check out my videos. I love you guys. Like the video. Turn on the bell. Subscribe. Become a member in the description. And fuck Jon Jones. Comment down fuck Jon Jones if you made it this far. And peace.